Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to Daredevil Born Again, Season 1, Episode 4, titled Six Semper Systema. Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk's darker halves fight to be unleashed. Now, there is some interesting connotations to the title of Six Semper Systema, because if you're in America, specifically in Virginia, you should know that the state motto is Sic Semper Tyrannis, or thus always to tyrants, as a way of saying that tyrannical leaders will inevitably be overthrown. Thus always will befall tyrants. Like bad things will always befall tyrants. So, to have Sic Semper thus always to, and Systema, meaning system, sort of implies that the system will always fail. Which, with what we saw with White Tiger, with what we saw with Bullseye, how Fisk is now out and is now mayor, you can sort of understand why that would be in the why it would be in the show. You've got all the cops using the Punisher logo to say we will do what is necessary to the criminals, all the stuff like that. And considering who the thumbnail for this episode has spoiled is going to be in it, Six Semper, or specifically Semper, is related to that character in the phrase Semper Fidelis. And this is someone who has had the system fail, knows the system will fail, and has tried to say to Matt, hey, one day something bad will happen, you'll end up like me because the system failed. And yeah, so I wonder what's going to go on here. Anyway, let's get this started in 3, 2, 1, go. Wait, no play. There we go. Oh, my thing goes on. Remember that scene of Hector being walked in like that? And that objection was different audio. Are they using some of the unedited shots in this? Because we know Hector, well, the one who plays Hector, come out, he did all this stuff before he died. So he wasn't there for the reshoots, I don't think. Hmm. And he's got all the personal effects. This could be how her or his sister gets the amulet. I mean, I can understand where she's coming from. This is a completely valid response. Did anyone ever get Matt's the one who did Bell and Jack? Ah, they're focusing on the Muse paintings, are they? Also, I didn't notice that Muse logo on the triggered. Here you got there. Is that what's his face? The cop that survived? Because using him to paint a mural in the subway station would be a very interesting turn of events. I couldn't think of the word that I was trying to say, so uh, well, there we go, John Bernthal. That's the issue I have with the credits being at the start during the opening. It does occasionally spoil surprises because, like, oh hey, this actor's in this episode. That means this character must be in this episode. But considering he was shown in the trailers, he was brought out at the panel, and he's in the thumbnail. Like, the thumbnail is entirely just Frank's face. It's not that much of a spoiler. I'm still not sure what the implication of that opening is. Of everything that matters to Matt crumbling for Daredevil to be born again. Because that can be like everything crumbles, so he has to be born again, or because everything crumbles, he's born differently. Baby and what's his face? Daniel? Hmm. She's played you. Interesting, baby. Get him drunk, let him spill what Fisk is doing. Why do I feel something bad's gonna happen? Of course he's from Staten. Because he's the one who said Staten doesn't need Manhattan. Hmm. Why did they show such focus on that? I'm guessing that's the one who just got picked up. The system's really wearing him down. You could see the aged expression on Matt's face. At least she's sitting closer this time. Okay. Oh shit, is that a muse? Is that where this is going? As soon as she mentioned him being an artist, well, his hands drew sketches. He did say he wasn't going to kill him. Hmm. I thought you were the ill intent. Very interesting, because it seems Fisk being genuine. Are you in a thing of it? Yes. Based off of Wilson's history, that is a very fair assumption to say. And I believe her in that. You're the guy who said you'd take his piece and put it to someone's head if they stepped on you. Not quite in those words, but well, justice is meant to be blind. Unfortunately, cops are able to take as much as they want. Seizure of assets and a scroll? Yeah. Interesting. Latvian. Latveria has been confirmed existing in. Okay. Hmm. He's not going to, but. Okay, it wasn't him. I don't think it was him. Okay. Yes, you probably will. So at least it wasn't him. I didn't think it was him. Mm, well, at least there's greenery on it. Right here. Not gonna say it. The problem with red tape is, with as a lot of people pointed out in reactions with the pothole, it's safety procedures. Is really not liking being bound by all these rules. No, you won't. Expecting to say he served more than that. I mean, he makes a he makes a point. I do have issues with them spending more money on incarcerations than fixing um, issues that cause homelessness and keep people homeless. Who did he say built this city? And a lot of people said on rock and roll. I thought it, and now they have this in the actual show. Not in the room, Daniel. Really? Also, what did I say? Latvian. I know Latvia. I had it right the first time with Latvia. I don't know why when I heard Latvian I thought Latvian. Not you. You should definitely stop. Hmm. Him not shutting up may have been the best thing there. Just shut up and go back to work. Uh, I don't think you're allowed to threaten a employee like that. The problem is he took it to be it'll be the last thing you ever do in this administration. Ah, there's a white tiger mural now. Why do you guys not have bins? Like even in like Melbourne, like the proper city of Melbourne, in the apartment buildings and that, they have bins. They don't just stick the garbage out on the street. I think you found the casing. Nope. Down into the sewer. The casing still be round though? Wait, no. I don't know how bullets work. So has Matt always just known where Frank is? Or did he set up a meeting? I don't know how season 2 of Punisher ended. So you could have just walked around. Said MGR office. What's happened with Frank all these years? So Frank knows about them. Are you telling him to go out and punish? Why was he walking over to the axe? Frank doesn't know about what happened with Bullseye. Hmm. So that proved his point. Hmm. He got the anger out. If there's someone to understand loss, it would be Frank. I tell him you tried. That is that is Foggy Nelson. Foggy Nelson is a good person, and deep down Matt knows he's not. What I just said there made me think of that Batman and Superman panel where it's like deep down Clark's a good person, deep down I'm not, coming from Batman. Yes, that is what your father taught you. You're a man who just loves his wife. Yeah, thoughts like that do tend to spiral. Never heard that version of Sisyphus. Hmm. Something's going to happen to her, isn't it? Before this show ends. Where's Wilson going? Where do you have Adam hold up? Interesting how when it comes to places where they need to spend time and think, one goes down and one goes up. There's the rabbit in the snowstorm, with his blood still splattered in front of it. It's interesting. Someone's splurging a little. Matt did say that he'd lost weight as he was trying to be good. Okay, so I guess Muse is not Adam. I was wrong about that. Oh, I forget what those weapons are called. It's like a rope dart, but oh, it was him. That's the same outfit he was wearing. Nope. Who the hell is this? Ew. Oh yeah, no, that's definitely Hunter's eyes. I've seen the manic look in them enough in Wednesday to know that's that's Hunter's eyes. I mean, Fisk did say he wasn't going to kill Adam. keeping him locked up in wherever he is. Now, interestingly, we do know that from trailers, at some point, Vanessa goes down there because we see him and her having a meal in front of Rabbit in a Snowstorm in that same location. So eventually, she finds out that Fisk is still the Fisk that she married. At least part of him is. I do hope that's not all that Frank is in it for. Just to give Matt permission to go back out as Daredevil. Because I do like John Bernthal's Punisher. I may when this is done go back and rewatch the rest of the Netflix shows, because I do know that apparently we're going to be getting a Punisher special thing with John Bernthal in it. So that may be the first one I go back and watch season 2 of. Because I don't know what happened with Jigsaw and that. Like, I know he was the villain, but I don't know what happened. This had a very heavy start because the issue of Matt's client is a very real issue in society. The whole, they would rather spend 5 times as much locking me up than it would to just get me off the street. And they'd rather do that with every homeless people, because it's not about helping the homeless people, it's about getting them out of the sight of people who aren't suffering. Because unless you can contribute to society, society thinks you shouldn't exist. And I say that in the broadest terms of society, meaning governments. Specifically capitalistic governments, but Fisk's whole thing still hitting very close to home, and yeah, the fact that this had been in production for years, all the reshoots and that were done before the presidency was announced and everything. We know that it was the Vanessa stuff and the stuff with Foggy and Karen. All of that was reshot. I don't know how much of like the references to say Foggy in that, because remember, originally the plan was to have Foggy and Karen having been killed before the season starts. Whereas this time it's just Foggy, we see him get killed, and Karen's off on the other side of the country. So I don't know how much of the references to Foggy are reshoots, or if they were already the way they were. Because we know that, was it season 2 or, not season 2, episode 2 or episode 3 was pretty much untouched. I think it was episode 2, Optics, with all the stuff with Vanessa that was done, but everything else was untouched. I think a lot of the stuff in episode 3 was untouched. I don't know how much of the stuff with Frank, because I think John Bernthal was one of the ones announced with Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox. I think those 3 were announced together in the initial return, because Vanessa was recast, Foggy and that weren't going to be in it. So yeah, I don't know how much of the Frank stuff was already done. How much of the Mayor Fisk stuff is still from the original, or was done in reshoots. You can't even tell how much of the Fisk and Vanessa in the same scene together was reshoots. Because, well, there's blocking in it that can easily be seen as, okay, so we filmed it one day with this person, we filmed it the next day the exact same way with this person. They're in the scene together, but they were never on set together. There's times where you see over Vanessa's shoulder just the back of a blurry head. That could very well have been the one they recast her with. And she's just there with ADR. So, yeah, I don't know how much of that was already finished and locked in, not to be touched by reshoots, before everything in the modern day happened. Because even the reshoots were all finished before the presidency was announced. And regardless of whether it was touched on or anything, it was accurate to what's actually happened. I know I say I'm not going to touch on it. You can't not touch on it because it's running parallel. It's like how The Boys started as a satirical take on superheroes. Not a satirical, a critique on superheroes in today's society. And the problem is that a lot of the more extreme stuff from The Boys is not so extreme nowadays. So, when art imitates life, or more, life imitates art, you can't exactly separate it, even though you are consciously aware of the separation. But I was not expecting Frank to not only know about the copycats, but to, well, not be okay with it, but not be doing anything about it. Because you remember that thing I showed you in I think it was episode 2, where we first saw the Punisher tattoo. Where Frank, in the comics, when he found out that cops were adopting his image, he's like, you don't do what I do. I am a killer. If you do what I do, you are a killer. I kill killers. So if you do what I do, I go after you. And whereas this Frank, I don't even know what he's been doing down there. He's still got his arsenal. He's got a wall of documents and everything. Says he's got, he's trying to find information on the next person for him to kill. But I'm just surprised that he's not going after the people who have bastardized his image. We actually get to see Muse in this episode. Took 4 episodes and hasn't really done anything except begin to exsanguinate someone, but yeah, that is the thing with Muse. A lot of the paint that he makes his murals out of, yeah, it's human blood. Specifically from his own victims, that he will then paint murals of. I'm not saying that he is the one who did in White Tiger, because we did see the Muse mural of White Tiger, because we've also seen one of Fisk, and we've seen one with the Punisher logo with the word triggered across it. So it seems they've separated his art and his victims a bit, but still, yeah, it was definitely Hunter behind that mask. Now, when Vanessa said that he made nice sketches and everything, I thought they were setting up that Adam was going to be the name of Muse. Because I'm pretty sure Marvel Muse. I'm pretty sure he does not have his identity revealed. Yeah, name unrevealed. So they could have done it where that's how it was. Uh who played Adam? The face sort of looked familiar. Daredevil, Born Again, IMDb. Let's go with episodes 4, 6 Semper Systema. Um, well, that sort of spoil things. Hmm. Um, the one who played Leroy was Charlie Hudson the Third. I'm not recognizing most of these names. I still can't believe that when I heard Latvian, my brain immediately went, "Oh my god, Latveria is a part of Marvel. They've confirmed that it exists, so there could be a Doom in this universe." No, it's Latvia, not Latveria. Latvia. I'm an idiot. Let's see, Adam. Lou Taylor Pucci. I don't think I pronounced that last name correct. Um, anything I know Charlie Hudson the Third from? No. Anyone I know Sophia from? No. Anyone I know Adam from? Um, not that I'm seeing. No. Okay. There are a lot of other named people who I don't recognize from the episode. So, I don't know. But, yeah. It's a very, very dense episode. A lot of things happened, but also not much happened. It seems like before this season is half over, one of the two will be adopting their previous persona. And it's more than likely going to be Matt, which will then cause Kingpin to come out properly, which will repair all the stuff between him and Vanessa, probably. But, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to end this one here because it needs to be uploaded. And with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one.